Hello everyone, and welcome to my overview of the Hori Fighting Stick Mini 4. I just received this in the mail today, and I've had a bit of time to go over and use it, and I will say that I'm actually pretty blown away by this. I did not think this little fight stick was going to be near as good as it is. It gets a bit of a bad rap online, on forums from purists, I'll say fight stick purists, but it's unwarranted. This is pretty darn good. So in Canada, this retails for $50. In the States, I think it's $39.99. Canada's $49.99. But I'm just going to show you as a comparison. If you're looking at a full-size fight stick, in Canada, they're expensive. This here, the Mad Catz Tournament Edition 2, Street Fighter V Chun-Li Edition, is $329.99. That's expensive. So if you're not serious about a fight stick, or if you've never used one before, or if you just want to learn, I would steer clear of something like that and buy something like this for less than a sixth of the price. You're not missing out on a whole lot. You're missing out on, well, the big things right away you're missing out on is the size of the big fighting stick. That's easy to play on the lap and stuff. You know, you're missing out on the customizability with this one. What you see is what you get. And I guess you're missing out on some of the cred, per se, from the purists. But besides that, I mean, this one's great. So with this one, I'm using this on a PC. I do not have a PS3 or a PS4. So I can answer your question right away. Will this work on a PC? The answer is probably. I run Windows 10. I put this into PlayStation 3 mode. I plugged it in, and right away it registered, it downloaded the drivers automatically, and it just worked. So right out of the box this works, no modifications, no fiddling around with anything. And I'll show you. Here's Street Fighter 4 up. I'll flip it over. Fighting Stick Mini 4. It automatically recognized it. Didn't do anything. The only thing I did do on this was customize just my button configuration within the game itself, which most people do on most games anyway. I just want to make sure that this is, you know, low punch, mid punch, hard punch or high punch, low kick, mid kick, hard or high kick, and then the three punches, three kicks, start, select, and then whatever the heck you want this to be, because it's on PC, so you can put that as taunt, you can put that as really anything. Not that you even need to use that now, because there's enough buttons. And speaking of buttons, there is a Mad Catz Alpha that's coming out. It is 6 buttons. Those two aren't there. Actually, these two are mapped up here on it. I will say that one is also about this size. And right away, in Canada, that is $130. So $130 is over 2.5 times the cost of this. Which, to me, if you're looking at a mini fight stick, it would be a more maybe luxury version. I'm not sure, but at the price point, it kind of puts it out of a reasonable price for me. And I would just say probably stick with this. Speaking of customizability, you cannot customize this. It is what it is right out of the box. Again, it's only $50. It's a square gate. It's not an octagonal, so it's just your standard square. The buttons are not Samuel buttons. You can't really put Samuel buttons in easily, and unless you have like a lot of talent, but it's probably not even close to worth it. And at that point, you might as well just get the PCB out of it and then use that instead. But the buttons here, they're just the stock Hori buttons. They're not bad quality. Hori didn't just put like a bunch of garbage in this and say, here, let's just build a piece of crap and send it out because someone will buy it. They put some thought into this. There's good thought in the layout. There's good thought in the size, and the quality is actually there. So I've got large hands. I wear a size large for gloves. I've got long, skinny fingers, and they fit on the buttons no problem. So I use this ridge here as a bit of a bump stop for my hand. So I just rest my hand there. It doesn't dig in. It's actually nice, and it looks like it would, but it doesn't. And they fit on the buttons, no problem. And then this control stick here, if I've got one hand on this side, I don't smash the control stick into my hands. Some people have said they do. I'm not sure how they're using this. Maybe if they're, you know, trying to use it like this, that they would run into issues. But if you're using it this way here and then using your other palm on this side, you're not going to run into any issues. Or you probably won't run into any issues. Again, I don't know. I'm not an expert on people's hands, so I don't know. And you can see here too, there's a bit of marking. It's a bit of an odd glossy-ish top, and you can see these are just markings where I've set my hands and played. If you have, this also happens on, you know, the full-size boards, so, or full-size sticks. So I've seen people, especially like if they got plastic, the plexiglass, and then like a black or something underlay, or if anything's super shiny, you usually see fingerprints on them anyway. It's a common problem. It's not unique to this, and it's not even close to a deal breaker. If that's a deal breaker for you, then you shouldn't probably be even looking at most of these anyway, because most of them have that issue. So anyway, speaking of the buttons, I'll just show you right now. You have to do a full depress for these things to work. So it's not like a sensitive Samwa button. If you take a look, there's Cami there. It's got to be a full press, full depress. Like a little tap isn't going to work. You can't just graze them. They're not that sensitive. They're just full. But again, there's not a lot of travel in the button, so it's not really a big deal. And I will say this, Samwa buttons are not going to make, if you're a casual player, Samwa buttons aren't going to make or break your game. So don't be put off by that these aren't Samwa and this isn't Samwa. I'm a casual, you know, I do decently online, but I don't compete in tournaments or anything like that, and a Samwa isn't going to make me incrementally better at all. To be honest, there's hardly a difference. And even going from this to a full-size fight stick for sizing, it's not that big of a deal. If you're used to this, like if you just bought this to practice on, you're brand new to fight sticks, and you bought this, you learn on this, to graduate into a fight stick, like the full-size, it's not that big of a change. These things, I'm coming from the full-size one down to here, and it's not even a big deal at all. Like, it's a little more crammed, yes, but at the same time, the buttons are usually laid out pretty close anyway, depending on what version you buy. And it's easy to get used to. So for the price on this one, it's pretty darn good. I have no complaints. I'm actually pretty darn happy with it, and I'm kind of taken back because I was thinking this video was going to have a lot of negatives in it. But the biggest gripe I have about this right now is just the fingerprints, and that's saying quite a bit. But besides that, there's another video on YouTube if you want to see the internals of it. Another guy does one, and he's got a ton of hits. It's easy to find. But overall, if you have any questions on it, feel free to ask me in the comments.